Hey y'all, Mila, the Hangry Woman here, and today we are talking about carbohydrates and diabetes. If you're new to my channel, I'm Mila. I run the blog Hangry Woman and the diabetes health coaching app Glucose Guide. I am a diabetes nutrition coach and I love to help people live a better life with diabetes. So on my channel you'll find all sorts of information about living with diabetes. I live with diabetes myself. I have latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. So if you like that kind of content, you want to learn more about diabetes, you want to learn more about how to live well with diabetes, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow my channel. You can also become a part of the community at Glucose Guide to get some guidance and one-to-one coaching, as well as group coaching and encouragement along your diabetes journey. Plus, like thousands of recipes that I've developed over the years. And with that, let's get to it. Counting carbs can help you match the activity and the food you eat to dosing your medications and managing your blood sugar properly. Counting carbs also is super helpful in terms of living a longer, healthier life, in terms of reducing the risk of complications from diabetes like heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease. There are 3 types of carbs that you should be aware of. Sugar, like the natural sugar in fruit or milk. There is also added sugar that you have to pay attention to in some of the foods that you eat and some of the things that you pick up from the grocery store. There are starches, so think wheat, oats, corn, potatoes, all of those things contain starches. They are on the starchier side of vegetables, typically higher in carbohydrate content. And then we have fiber, and fiber is the part of plant foods that isn't digested, but it does help you to regulate your blood sugar and keep you healthy overall. It's important to remember that sugar and starches will raise your blood glucose, but fiber won't. So fiber is something that you really want to add to your meals as much as you can, because it's going to help slow that glucose spike that you see when you're looking at your overall glucose data. Carbs are measured in grams, and you'll be able to find the measurement for the carbs in your food on the nutrition label that you're looking at for the specific food that you have. So I have a video on reading nutrition labels. Check that out. It's a really great resource for understanding what each of the things means on the nutrition label panel. That's typically where you'll find the amount of carbs that's in your dish, and you'll see that it's listed out as a number and then a G behind it on your nutrition label. Paying attention to carb servings is also important. So for every 15 grams of carbs, that's 1 serving of carbohydrates, and it's not the same as a serving size. So for example, you might think of a baked potato as like, 1 small baked potato is your serving, but that serving size is actually 2 carb servings. So when you think of carb servings, think of 1 to 15, that ratio, and that's going to tell you how many carb servings are in your dish. So if you have a dish that is 45 grams of carbs, that's 3 carb servings. And that is not a judgment and to say that you can't eat more than 1 carb serving, but that's more to tell you kind of like how to look at the patterns in your blood glucose and how to measure carbs overall. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to have a meal that's 45 grams of carbs, but a meal that's 45 grams of carbs is going to affect your blood sugar a whole lot differently than a meal that is lower in carbs. This can get monotonous, but for some, eating the same amount of carbs per meal just keeps glucose steady and keeps you balanced. I know that that can get extremely boring, so I always advocate for variety. Eat the things that you love, pair and match things that bring you joy to eat, and just be sure that you're measuring your food, you're weighing your food, you're getting an idea of what your serving size is, and that you're understanding how many carb servings you're having and how that affects your blood glucose. People will also always ask, how many carbs should I eat? And the answer to that is so frustrating because there's no straight answer to that. The answer is it's not one size fits all. Everybody is a little bit different. different in the amount of carbs that they can tolerate and the amount of carbs that keeps them satisfied and having enough energy during the day. So the answer is it depends. Some people can do low carb diets like Atkins or like keto and survive just fine on a minimal amount of carbs per meal and per day. But some people need more carbs just overall and to feel the energy that they need to feel and to be able to get through the day, not have brain fog, etc., etc. So the answer to that is you kind of have to test and tinker to figure out how many carbs really affects your blood sugar and what direction those carbs affect your blood sugar. And also keeping in mind that different foods have different structures. So some might be higher fiber and the carbohydrate count is a little higher, but it's maybe a heavier fiber count. Some foods have a high carb count with no fiber at all. And so it's really up to you to pair things together and figure out what's going to work for you. But I would say that one rule of thumb that I like to follow and that I think really helps me and works for me, it might not work for you, but it's something that does tend to work for me, is that I like to make sure that I pair all of my carbs with fat, fiber, or protein. So rather than eating a piece of toast that's plain, I might add some butter to that toast and I might eat it with a few strawberries or blueberries on the side to get that fat, fiber, and protein, instead of having a piece of fruit just by itself. Maybe, let's say, a mango. Mangoes are my favorite. I love mango. Instead of having that mango just alone and by itself, I might pair it with some Greek yogurt or some kefir to balance it out a little bit, add a little bit of protein and fat, and slow down that glucose spike for myself. And adding protein and fat to carbs creates balance, but I'm not going to say that it takes away your glucose spike entirely. It is natural for your body to spike when you eat food. And with diabetes, what happens with us is that we are either insulin resistant or insulin deficient. And so we're not able to use the insulin that our bodies produce properly, or we're not able to even create insulin. And so with diabetes, what we tend to look for is that drop back down in our glucose after 2 hours after eating. And so you're gonna see at least a little bit of change in your blood sugar, but it's not gonna be that huge roller coaster that you notice when you pair fat, fiber, and protein alongside your carbohydrates. If you have more questions or if you want to learn more about carb counting, join my glucose guide community. It's a great place to ask questions, to get feedback, and also to work with a coach on your health goals. I would also say that it's super important to work with a dietitian. Dietitians can help with really nailing down what's going to help you, what's going to work for you, building foods that you love into your routine, and understanding your body so that you can get the right foods for your body. That's all for today. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments or join my glucose guide support community. The link will be down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if the information was helpful to you and if I explained it in a clear and concise way that helps you understand. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.